Meow 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 meow. I keep forgetting to schedule things up. Good morning. Good morning. I technically didn't oversleep. I didn't oversleep, but my cat was really cute, so I stayed in bed longer than I intended. Then I had to rush to set up stream. But you know, it's the cat. You can't just ignore a cute cat, right? If there's a cat there and it wants to play, you gotta play with it. You gotta play with it. You can't just say, sorry, kitten. Sorry, Spock. Sorry, Leo. You're just gonna have to go play by yourself in the corner there. I'm sorry. No, you gotta play with the cat. Gotta give them treats. No cute cat. I should have taken photos. I should have taken photos. I was so distracted. I was so distracted. I was actually in the moment. You know, it's good to spend quality time with your family without your phone in your hand, right? Or a camera. To not live through the lens. Live through the life that you are experiencing currently. Something like that, right? Something like that. Something like that. Oh, Zero! Zero, I forgot to tell you. Hold on. I got the core rulebook for that Fate system game. I haven't read through it yet. I got the Fate game, and then I also got this other one called Fledge Witch, which is like a cozy, like you're an apprentice witch TTRPG, which is really cute. It's a small one. So I got myself a couple RPG books that I now have to read through. But that's cool. I saw it and it was on sale, and I was like, hey, that's the one Zero was talking about. I gotta try it out. I gotta at least look into it. So I got just the core book, and then I have, or the main book, and then I have like a condensed version of it, because I'll probably need that later on. I need the quicker references. Yes. So I'm excited about that. I do enjoy me a good tabletop RPG, yes. But speaking of Kickstarter and games, right? Today, I have to speed through my introductions because I only have a couple hours till I have to leave for work. So, today's game, Spell Candle, which just had a Kickstarter open up. Which I am gonna I posted the link there, but I realized I posted the link weird. So hold on. I don't like it when there's like a link, but you can't tell where it links to. I don't want to have a T dot. I don't know what that is. What was that? I think that's probably like the redirect from when I redirected from another website. Here, new pin post. Better. There we go. It has a Kickstarter. The Steam page is also it's linked on the Kickstarter, but I was actually thrown off on the Steam page. The demo, usually like demo is like a separate little Steam store page, but it's on the main page where there's a button to like the side that says demo. It's not in the usual spot. I was almost about to like message the developer and be like, hey, I can't find the demo link on Steam. It was there. I was just blind. This game looks really cool. Actually, I'm gonna go here. I've not been awake very long. I'm gonna be totally honest here. I have not been awake very long. When I say I didn't oversleep, that's because I set my alarm to like 9:30. Alright, so I actually have... Hold on. I wanted to pull up the Kickstarter. Let me make sure I'm not signed in. Yes. Bum 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 bum. Perfect. This is the game. Wow, how big is this page? Oh gosh, it's huge. Bits. Perfect. This. I like the art. Also, look at the guys. Look at them. Look at them. Already, what's this, over about halfway to the goal? So the story, a psychological romance mystery visual novel. Right? Oh no, I know! War has taken away a loved one, but your country sent you on a diplomatic mission, not giving you time to grieve. When the task at hand suddenly becomes survival, you have to spend every free moment figuring out the villain hiding among the powerful political figures around you. Which one of them will you trust? Yeah! Do you dare light a candle on the dark secrets everyone hides? The dark secrets? The dark secrets? I love that. So that, oh wait, no, I wanna go here, Oh, the character arts is so good. It's so good. Elves. Alright, so I'm gonna put, oh yeah, I'm just scrolling through it again. Look at them. I don't want to spoil too much because I wanna actually play it and explore things. So go check out the Kickstarter page. Full game, 11 to 15 hours. But it has a focus on grief. I passed that. Where was it? To raise awareness about mental health and the challenges we face after losing a loved one, which I think is really nice. But for now, let's actually check out the game. Because yeah, all those characters are kind of dreamy. Spell candle. I'm guessing this is like main character's room or something. Very nice. Oh, I almost forgot. Perfect. I gotta check in myself. Alright, spell camo. Spell candle, demo version 1. Combined demo and candle. CG gallery. Settings. Let's start the game. How far are you willing to go to contain war in a glass dome? How many parents would you be willing to sacrifice? How many brothers would you kill? Ooh, holding spacebar. Oh, hell yeah. Holding spacebar hides the UI so you can see the full art. Yes. I forgot to check if last night's game had that. Soul Set. That's one of my favorite features in a visual novel, being able to see things. Are there keyboard controls? I'm just wondering. We have a journal. I'm assuming journal's gonna let me check like different keywords. That's fine. Resume. I'll just click. My mouse clicking's louder than the keyboard. Would you grow numb to the pain? Become a zealous leader, willing to sacrifice anything for the greater good? Turn a blind eye to the orphans on the street? Ignore those disabled begging for coin? Steal, bribe, and extort for a chance of peace? The figure up there. Hello, thank you for the follow! How many decisions would leave you lying awake at night? counting the souls you sent to the slaughter. You spare a cup of corn. When I mess up when I stumble over my words and accidentally say a different word entirely instead of just messing it up. I guess they are big. I mean, hey, they got no food. Corn's food. Can living it can living in war for millennia truly be considered life? A loud whistle breaks the silence, rendering the carriage to a sudden stop. Horse sounds! Uma, Uma! The tip of my quill shatters as it smashes into the paper before I can put down my next thought on the page. Are we writing? Identity control! The shout comes from outside, and I put down my notebook, scoffing at the ruined nib. This is the third one today, and I'm tempted to throw my hands up in frustration and scream. I was selected to be the Resian delegation's reporter for this year's Dread Festival. It should be considered a great honor to be able to report on your country's political victories, no matter how small. But you can't expect a caged bird to sing happily. Ooh, caged bird. I reach into my letter satchel to find my identification documents before stepping out of my petite carriage. Oh, that looks like a big carriage. I guess I've never been in a carriage. I don't really know what sizes carriages are. I've just been in a car. Pleased by the chance to stretch my legs, annoyed that I have to go through this, curious to finally get a peek outside, or enthusiastic that we've likely almost reached the destination. Probably be welcoming a chance to stretch my legs, you know? So curious to get a peek outside is kind of, Yeah, I'm curious to get a peek outside. Let's see what outside looks like. I've been in that carriage for so long, traveling. Just a few feet ahead, an elven woman is going through the papers of an older gentleman from our contingent. And what role do you fulfill with this delegation? Her voice is like the sharp-pointed end of an ancient spear. I'm the senator representing the region of the Beastlands. The Beastlands? The elf sniffs the air around the delegate and frowns. Oh, she's beautiful. Glimmering mercury eyes peek out from underneath short bangs, the color of milky quartz. Her skin, like deep iron ore, glitters gently in the rays of the daylight. After a very thorough read of the man's identification documents, she hands them back to him without a word. I find myself nervous at the elf's long knife-like ears twitch. Wait, what's wrong with the ears? You can't just call them knife-like, okay? You just notice if you... I know you're talking about. You always had that. I gave that to you a while. Don't worry about it. As the elf's long knife-like ears twitch and her attention shifts to me, I'd never seen anything like that. Her cold gaze examines me from head to toe before she reaches a hand out. Identification documents. I hand them over and she scans through them quickly. Enter my name here? Did I just start? Oh, there you go. Scarlet. Hope. Choose my pronouns? Do she, her for now. And what role do you fulfill within this delegation? I was selected by the Empire to take an account of the Dread Festival for an article. I'm here to report on the mutually beneficial relationship between our nations. I will be writing a positive piece about Quil Angular's leadership. I plan to record our general's involvement in foreign affairs for our newspapers. Elf ears are convenient for chopping food with no knives around? No! They're not actually sharp. Well, mine aren't sharp. They're very soft, actually. Very soft. They might look sharp, but they're actually very nice. Selected by the Empire to take account, yeah, for the Dread Festival. Sure. That seems like the most straight up normal thing to say here. It's the truth. Her eyebrows raise slightly at my response. After a moment, she nods, accepting my explanation. And your general, where could I find him? The question perplexes me. Though the delegation has been traveling for several weeks, I hadn't encountered the infamous Shadow Master once. Had I? Upon seeing my bewildered expression, the elf offers a small explanation. He was not in his carriage. Ooh? Perhaps because he got bored of being confined in a turbulent box for days. A voice responds before I can open my mouth to formulate an apology. I step back from the carriage and seek out a source. Oh, okay. Just a guy just hanging out on the roof of my carriage. Upon the wooden roof of my small carriage relaxed one of the most beautiful gentlemen I had ever seen. I just realized the game's audio has been muted, huh? Oops. My bad. Check that out. I was talking about the Uma, and you couldn't even hear the Uma. It was silent game. Oops. There you go. Oh, there we go. I appreciate the history log so I can go back and catch what I missed. With his eyes closed, his expression was so serene that I found myself wondering if I'd misheard him speak. Shadow Master, may day and night preserve you. The man on the roof of my carriage opened his eyes and leveled the woman with a cold gaze. His eyes were the color of the flags of our empire. What, red? I'm gonna go with red. Right, look at him. Just the the confidence and just the comfortability of just laying on top of a carriage like that. Nice. That's an introduction. The color of blood and dangerous, forbidden things. Latimore. You appreciate them because you forget what you read like 2 seconds. Yeah, I fumble on the keys all the time too. Let's admire that. I could hear the elven woman swallow from behind me so vividly that I wondered if the world around us had fallen quiet on purpose. May I please see your documents, General? A frown crossed his features before he quietly sat up, slid his feet over to the edge of the carriage, and jumped down with the grace of a cat. The Cat Man. The Cat Man! Always live when a character's described as cat-like. Here. He pushed a stack of documents that was so thick into the hands of the elf that it made me gape. It might take you a few days. He smirked, and I wondered where on himself he kept a pocket large enough to hold all of that paper. The elf blinked, scanned through the first few pages, and flipped through the next few with shaky hands, her face growing paler by the second. Peek into the papers or keep watching him? Well, how could I dare look into those papers when his beautiful face is right there? I'm gonna keep watching him. The political leader of our delegation crosses his arms behind his back. his expression neutral as he scans the surrounding environment. I feel my breath hitch as his gaze passes over me for a split second. The elf suddenly thrusts the pages back at the general and gives him a shaky nod and thank you, before wobbling off to the next carriage. Was that necessary? The man's notorious crimson gaze turns to me. She asked for my papers. He shrugged. Wasn't my fault that she wasn't ready for what was on them. Somehow, this behavior does little to surprise me. It might have been considered to let her know beforehand or fall silent. I'll fall silent here. Less than 3 hours to the Steam Autumn sale? I was so caught up on the Fall in Love Festival that I didn't even know about the I didn't even know there was an autumn sale coming. Oh, so there's a little bit of an overlap between the Fall in Love Festival and... Oh my god, there's gonna be so many games. I've already bought so many visual novels. I've already bought so many of these wonderful romance-themed visual novels. Oh no. Fall silent, 'cause I you know what? I don't know. What could he have done to give her consideration, you know? An uncomfortable silence falls over us, and I notice the way his gaze wanders down below my waist, scrutinizing me. A frown crosses his lips. I follow his eyes, and... The inkwell that I'd left on the seat beside me must have spilt when the carriage came to a sudden halt. Oh no! That's embarrassing! Oh, we've got ink all over ourselves! Feed the backlogs? Yeah, you're so right. Yeah, you're so right. He's staring pointedly at the large black stain on the side of my pants. Oh, that's embarrassing. I hope you're not planning on wearing that to the welcome dinner. Actually, yeah, no, I was definitely planning to wear ink-stained pants. That's what I'm gonna reply. This is my plan. I highly suggest not embarrassing yourself or the Empire by doing so. Everything about this man was irritating. I won't... The look he gave me was one of complete apathy. I grit my teeth. A loud, high-pitched whistle travels from the gates above us. Someone's leaving us the go ahead, all clear. The clicking of metallic hinges echo in the air, and I take it as my sign to return to the peace of my small carriage. Hope you have a good day, General. There wasn't a single sincere word in that sentence. He raised an eyebrow at me as I stepped into my carriage. Oh yeah, okay. So I've known this man for 2 seconds already. Yeah. I like him. Making sure to avoid the spilled ink, I turn around and shut the door in his face. A childish reaction, but his expression was well worth it. He gonna be our tsundere. With blood pounding in my ears, I found a clean place to sit before the carriage resumed its movement shortly after. Entering Omnis, the city of candle wax. Wow, that's a lot of candles. I'm just noticing on the sill here are all along the walls, all on those pillars. Yeah, no wonder it's the city of candle wax. The capital city of the elves. I find myself eagerly peeking out the window, making a continuous effort to forget the fact that I may have just angered one of the most dangerous men on the eastern continent. My eyes wander between the many tall buildings made of marble, adorned with golden embellishments, before lingering on the rectangular houses with roofs assembled from slabs of multicolored quartz. They're illuminated by the withdrawing river of light, the path of the goddess of day. All structures bask in the warm rays, coloring in various shades of brilliant golds and oranges. It's a breathtaking view. That's what I was thinking. The person who has to light all the candles, the person that has to put new candles up. Like, how often do they just put up a new one every day? Do they wait till it gets down to a certain point? Do they wait till it's completely melted? How do they clean up the wax? Is it just wax melting all over everything? That's kind of cool, actually. I wonder if they're colored waxes? We pass under a long archway of stone upon which I can hear the bubbling of running water. Dozens of half-burnt candles of sundry colors and sizes sit atop each visible surface. I find myself itching to see what these streets look like at night. Although it is a world of magic, maybe you don't have to manually go up there and light them. Maybe there's just like someone's like a snap of the finger, just they light up. My thoughts quickly bring me back to the journal in my lap. Quickly, I fetch a new quill from my bag and note down my initial impressions. After several days of travel, our delegation has finally arrived at Omnis, the legendary elven capital. The gates were guarded strictly, and our official documents and identities were checked for validity. This year, the Great Empire's leading envoy for the peace celebration is the Shadow Master. He sports a unique brand of charm. He's a very considerate leader. He sports a unique brand of charm. Is that good or bad? I don't know. It's unique. He sports a unique brand of charm that inspires the awe of everyone around him. Like a hurricane or some other horrible natural disaster. I don't think we wrote that line. He has a way with words. I'm blessed to be able to experience the elf's exhalation when around him. Exaltation. At least, I'm not the only one terrified of that monster. What a way of words. What a way to just completely not lie, but, painted it in a more favorable light. As a just in case. We meander through the roads for another 20 minutes before the carriage comes to a final stop in front of the only building that looks terribly out of place. The tall rectangular pagoda that serves as the Ares Empire's embassy at Omnis. Imposing. But very pretty. I think those are like lanterns or something, kind of hanging from the edges of some of the rooftops there. That looks kind of like it looks like it's like a half moon with maybe a light or a pearl or something in the center there. As I disembark, I spot the general already disappearing past the red curtains. He doesn't spare me a glance. Oppressive. I looked away for a second. Oppressive prick. I'm given a small but pleasantly furnished room in the embassy and quickly ditch my pack in there before heading out into the city. I need to find a tailor somehow. Oh yeah, we need new clothes. We kind of need to get dressed. We kind of need some, not ink-stained outfits. I ask around. I follow a trail of the most expensive-looking buildings. I tag after the most lavishly dressed elves on the main street. I take a map of the city from the embassy to help orient. Oh! Let's take a map from the embassy. Elves, I know! Elves, love them. The map itself isn't as detailed as I'd like, but I can make out the names of the districts of Omnis, as well as a couple of points of interest. Ooh, look at that. Are those giant, statues, like some sort of spell or something, a barrier or something? Lots of candles. I like the vines. The vines cook up those pillars right there. Very cool. I decide to take a look around the Enclave of the Gods, the area of the Earth Elves first, since I'd read so much about them and about how lavishly they'd lived. It takes me about 15 minutes of walking and skulking around weird alleyways before I spot a cylindrical structure of rose marble. 2 golden curtains embroidered with large designs of a spool with pink string hang from it around Wide open double doors. Dark letters spell out the words, "The Hour of the Golden Ones," right above the entrance of the building. Is this our Taylor? The gentle strum of a mandolin comes from inside. Heart-wrenching, intense, soulful, and yet somehow welcoming. I step inside, yet find myself incapable of spotting a single worker. Morning, phlegmy throat. At least not until 3 shadows of varying sizes shift from behind a paravan of curtains. They speak in some language I don't recognize. Call out? Wait patiently. I'll call up like, "Hey there, I'm here to get some clothing at your shop, please." The art is so pretty, and the music's really nice too. I'm kind of bummed. It took me several minutes to realize I had it muted. "Excuse me, I'm looking to buy." As I hoped, that made the moving shadows pause behind the paravan. The small silhouette, short and stubby, moved to face my direction, its voice high-pitched and snippy. "Now's not a good time!" I frowned, but I wasn't able to give up that easily. I need an outfit for a party tonight at the recent embassy, please." I kept my tone polite, but I knew an undertone of desperation had slipped in. I didn't want to see the general's smug expression directed at me tonight. A short silence followed, filled only by the gentle strum of the mandolin. "We're very busy and..." A predatory growl erupted from behind the paravan. "What? Helper! Their name's Grumble?" The command rolled through the chamber with a low rumble. I felt myself tense as the tallest figure turned to face me from behind the curtain. "But Natura!" The growl grew louder. "As you wish, Natura." The tone was reverent, obedient. Language now fully switched to common. The paravan of curtains rustled as a short elf that looked to be within the late years of his lifespan stepped up to help me. "Right this way." I was quickly led behind another small paravan. "I'm Cupio, one of the designers of the Hour of the Golden Ones, and your extra hand to look your best today. Will you need help undressing?" The question caught me off guard. I refused, scandalized by the proposal. I refused politely. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's a normal suggestion in this kind of shop, right? Like, it's like, we went to like the high class area, right? And I feel like, I don't know, don't like rich people have help getting dressed and undressed? I don't know. I'll refuse politely, just to be nice though. Maybe that's just his culture. I'm in a different country, I don't know. "Thank you for your offer, but I'm accustomed to dressing myself." Cupio nods, surprisingly accepting of my choice. "Very well then. I'll see what we have that'll fit your body while you disrobe. Drape yourself in the plush blanket on the davenport if you're feeling bare. And do not be concerned. We change them after each client that refuses to take it home with them." Before I could process his words, the elf made his way outside of my changing area. How expensive is this gonna be? Oh my gosh! Can we afford this as a journalist? Wait, actually, is the delegation paying for this? Who's paying for this? It didn't take long before several beautiful outfits were brought to me. Cupio made it his mission to look everywhere but at my body as he delivered them and exited. His regard for my wishes put me at ease as I tried on the outfits, one by one. "Do any of these suit your fancy?" So we got a racy blue and white draped dress with a beautiful belt made of pearls. A leather two-piece, a blouse with matching pants, accents with golden bracelets and rings. A conservative black cotton toga that sticks to my curves and muscles. A ceremonial robe, red and ceremonial red and white robe of silk with a black embroidered sash. Ceremonial red and white. Well, what was it? Our country's flag was red, right? So I feel like the red and white robe with the black sash, I feel like that matches our country, right? This looks like something one of the generals would wear back home when they held their conclaves. Fancy, formal, yet not overly conspicuous. The pretty embroidery of the dark sash seemed to tell the myth of the sun mice, an ancient story of how the little man outsmarted the god of shadows. This outfit felt comforting and brought a smile to my lips. A great choice. The tailor appraises the way the item of clothing sits upon my frame. Is this the outfit to your liking? I think so, yeah. I'm good with that. Lovely. Now please, follow me to the lockbox. I nod and exit through the heavy curtains to join the small elf at the pay desk, not expecting the looming figure that pushed past the paravan across from mine. Oh, hey, this is one of the other love interests, right? Nice. 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 I find myself face to chest with a being unlike any I've seen before. A tall cross between man and monster, with a powerful body and a rich skin tone. I understand the roar now. I was confused about the roar earlier. The muscles, and he seems to have some piercings. He's got some piercings. As I look up at him, his eyebrows jump in surprise before his lips twist into a tameless smile. A tameless smile? Ayo. Seems like I made the right choice. Excuse me? I'm getting you dressed. His voice was like a low purr, and I find my cheeks heating as he made a show of admiring my outfit of choice. yeah, I'm looking at the animal. He clearly has piercings on his ear. Look at the ring at the top of his ear. That's what I'm talking about. You're stunning. Thank you. A large tail switches back and forth behind him as he tilts his head to one side. Did you also manage to find suitable clothing? So he doesn't work here. He's like another client, and they were fussing about him, and he was like, no, don't fuss on me. Go help her out. I see. Did you also manage to find suitable clothing? Yeah, did you also find something you like? What I'm already wearing will suffice. I mean, go for it. My eyes wander over his Herculean body. Everything on this man, from his robust torso down to his powerful lion-like legs, seemed as if it would have been carved out of stone by a sculptor. I'd never seen anyone casually show this much skin outside a bedroom in my life. How about while bathing? Do you not bathe naked? Oh, maybe she just doesn't bathe with other people. That makes sense. Never mind. Are you sure? I have faith. Did his eyes gleam, or did I imagine it? Now then, let's go sort out your bill. Whoa, is he gonna pay for me? Giving me little chance to respond, the creature moved to stand in front of the tailor. No, I can pay for myself. I don't actually know how much all this costs. It's probably gonna be really expensive, but I can pay for myself. Oh, but I should be nice to say thank you, but that's unnecessary. No, I can pay for myself. Whoa, buddy, there. I have a job. I'm a journalist. That would be 250 gold. My coin purse suddenly felt too light. Wait, the way to start the morning? No, I think this is the best way to start the morning, actually. His skirt is so short, too. In the Ares Empire, that much money could buy between 5 cottages and a defensible small tower, depending on the military region. Could you repeat the sum for me? 250 gold. Were these clothes going to work, clean, and cook instead of me or something? You went to the rich part of town. You went to the richest part of town, and now you're confused? Silly. I find myself staring down at my chosen outfit with new doubts. Maybe I just try to clean the ink spill with some hot water and salt? Just put it on my tab, Cupio. As you wish, Natura. The elf bows politely as I turn to face the creature behind me. His smile caught me off guard. I know he senses the way I want to complain, to fight back against his generosity. Bearing in mind that we just met, this is too much. I hurriedly stepped even closer to Cupio, who looked between me and the tall man, now behind me uncertainly. Do you always fight back this hard when somebody tries to help you? I know I've given him a weird look when his smile widens, showing off a pair of sharp top canines. Do I usually do this? Yes. Oh, his smile's so cute. His smile's so cute. An amused hum leaves his lips, and I find myself wondering what it is he gleamed from this curt line of questioning. This isn't a battle you need to fight. Your purchase is on me. Consider it a gift from the terror of the elves. I freeze in place as the tall creature crosses his arms in front of his chest, refusing to take no for an answer. His lion-like tail swishes back and forth, as if taunting me to attempt to refuse his kindness. This man was the Terra, the demigod leader of the city of Fidus, and the chosen of the earth element. Oh, he's like their leader. Dang. Yeah, okay. No wonder he looks like that. And he just paid for a ridiculously overpriced item of clothing. For me. Alright. The intensity of his gaze lessened before he nodded toward the clothing on my body. Pretty things suit pretty people. His name is Terra. Consider it a party favor. You're a guest of the Dread Festival, right? I nod, and he gives me a brilliant grin. Then please, make yourself at home in our city. The words, "a million people would kill for this chance," echo in my mind, and I find myself smiling back at the demigod. Thank you. It's my duty, and, incidentally, my pleasure. I find my cheeks heating a bit from his tone. I should be on my way. Of course, I'll be seeing you tonight then. I pick up my old clothes in my pack before bidding Cupio and Terra the most dignified goodbye I can muster. Or the Terra, so it's like a title. We don't know his name yet, right? They gave you a million optional cases right before the final battle in Cyber Sleuth? Are you the kind of person that needs to get through everything before you can finish the main plot? Now, what did the way back to the embassy look like? I start retracing my steps, but quickly find myself unable to deny the itch to put words on paper over my recent encounter. Compared to the capital of the Ares Empire, the elven city of Omnis is ridiculously expensive, beautiful but chaotic. I like beautiful but chaotic, sounds more poetic. The architecture I see as I walk the streets is awe-inspiring, but the structure of the city itself is incomprehensible. I wonder what the spatial architects were thinking when they planned the city. The urban design is amateurish when compared to the organized construction of our capital city. My thoughts then wandered to the terror of the elves, to his warm smiles and his overly accommodating sentiments. Nobody had ever covered a bill for me before purely out of kindness. I can't help but wonder what the price I'd have to pay for it in return would be. I frown and structure my thoughts on the demigod of Earth. My first impression of the terror of the elves is that he's a terrible savior complex. He seems to live in his own world. Let's go with that. That seems a bit more flattering. I wouldn't call buying a girl cute clothes a savior complex. I never once spotted any of our 9 generals out shopping for clothes mere hours before an event as important as the Dread Festival. Then again, if the Terra is as rich as the legends say he is, I shouldn't be surprised that he throws money around at pompous stores with ridiculously inflated price tags. I feel my chest grow heavy with guilt over the words I put down. We've been taught to always show the strengths of our empire. Throwing mud at the reputation of others in order to do so, however, has never been my favorite thing to do. I don't want to be biased, but I'm taught to be biased. You thought you could transfer items to hackers' memory? Oh no! Wait, how does that work actually? You get some of your Digimon at least? I exhale and look up from my page and quail, needing a distraction from my treacherous thoughts. It comes quickly as I don't recognize the street that I'm walking on. Multitasking is not always as easy as it seems. Yeah, you probably shouldn't be writing and walking at the same time. Understandable why you got lost. So you can only transfer stuff after you beat both games. Oh, interesting. I know I looked into it when it first came out, but I can't remember anything. But that does sound, yeah, that sounds right. The marble and quartz are lost, instead replaced by simple one-floor stone buildings, decorated with all kinds of dried plants, bones, and black velvet curtains. The streets seem deserted. The air feels oppressive. Unlike the other parts of town, soft lavender and green candles lay lit around the streets as though there's a heavy darkness here that dims all other colors and needs to be warded off. Arson! Thank you for the bits! There are multiple sounds going off. I was so confused. You're stockpiling memory ups for hackers' memory, but it makes sense they wouldn't let you. This is exactly why they don't let you do it. Arson, good morning. Good morning. Is it still morning? It's morning. It's 11 a.m. for me. It's morning. Let's check in. Good morning. Silence stretches over me in a way that has me glancing back at my shadow. I don't know why, but this place reminds me of some of the worst moments in my life. The passing of my late parents, a terrible breakup with an abusive ex, a near-death experience I suffered, a loss of a friend in the yearly words. You're awesome, take that, no you, ha, ha. What terrible experience did I go through? A near-death experience. Or are we Batman? Did we lose our parents in an alleyway? A near-death experience. thought that I was alive and wanted to throw. I appreciate the support, Arson. And it's just always good to see you in the first place. A near-death experience. Ooh, an unforeseen medical condition that I had a chance not to survive. Fortunately, I recovered, but I get a shiver every time I recall it and how close it brought me to the brink. I recall the darkness as I passed out, the concerned faces around me, how weak and pathetic I felt during the recovery process. I take a deep breath and focus on the teachings of the Ares Empire, the way to fight back the demons that attempt to conquer you. I need to keep myself occupied and focus on the things at hand. I need to take everything step by step. Turn back and trace your steps. Look for someone to guide you back. I don't want to look around and get more lost. But tracing my steps could also get me more lost, because I don't know how good I'm at tracing my own steps. But talking to strangers is scary, so let's trace our own steps. I turn back around, attempting to recall the turns I made and the features of buildings I may have noticed. Nothing sticks out. There's no landmark that'll lead me or that my eyes recognize. Haven't I already been on the street? I feel as though I'm being watched. I find myself constantly glancing around the vacant windows and empty street corners. A cold chill climbs up my back as I reach a few doors without windows or candles. Was this elven magic or all just in my head? Was someone playing tricks on me? When I stop to readjust my pack, I feel something hit my forehead. The darkening skies up above surprise me, and I barely have a moment to notice before I'm caught in a downpour. Stranger danger! Exactly, stranger danger! The rain is so heavy and cold that if I don't hide somewhere quick, I'm sure to be sick during tonight's banquet. Shit. At this rate, my notes will be ruined. I break into a run, looking for shelter from the downpour. The only place I manage to find on a short notice is underneath a small staircase. I'm forced to squeeze in underneath, pulling my feet to my chest. I hate the rain, I like the rain, I don't care for the weather. I mean, a warm rain's not too bad. A cold rain is horrible, but a warm rain's kind of nice. When I was younger, I used to like to go, there's an amusement park not too far from where I grew up. And I'd like to go on rainy days, on like a warm, rainy summer day, because when it's raining, you'd have a lot less people there. But because it was like a warm day, it was kind of nice. It was like cooling. So it was like a plus. Less crowd, but rain? I don't know. But if I was in this situation where I'm trapped in a city where I don't know and I'm lost and it's raining and I'm hiding underneath a staircase, I'm not sure I'd like the rain at that point. But in general, rain's not too bad, as long as I'm not outside in it. As someone with glasses, heck, the rain... Very true, actually. It does... I'm just trying to walk and I can't see anything, because I need like the little, like a car, the windshield wipers for my glasses. I need that. I've always found it calming. The pitter-patter of raindrops against any surface could easily put me to sleep. With a downpour like this, it seemed as though the sky itself was crying. For the first time in life, I found the sky's unruliness almost unfair. By force of habit, I find myself closing my eyes and listening to the sound of the raindrops as they hit the cement. I breathe in the petrichor and allow its familiar smell to calm me. Despite my feelings, I find my earlier unease evaporating, melting away in the minutes. I open my eyes to the sound of a bark and find a small puppy tilting its head at me. A puppy? A puppy? When I blink again, however, I find that I must have imagined it. Oh. Oh. Hello. What stands before me instead is a tall man dressed from head to toe in black. His yeah. His 4 eyes are a startling green. Greener than the purest jadeite. Somehow, he sticks out from within the gloom of the surrounding environment. Perhaps because of the lit white candle that gleams in the lantern he's holding up towards me. He surveys me silently, unbothered by the rain falling from the sky. His gaze lingers a bit too long on my ears. A sound more like an exasperated scoff escapes him before he moves his cape to one side. It takes me a moment to realize that he's offering to share. Share his cape? Wait, are we gonna get under the cape together? I don't even know this man, and we're gonna snuggle up? Hell yeah. Are his hands black or are those gloves? Because they're really cool. I'm guessing they're like gloves. Wait. What is that? What is it? What is it got in his... Are those accents or are those actual vines coming out of his hand? What? We'll learn. Come on. I'm not sure how I managed to hear a voice so gentle above the downpour. Is he a gentle giant? Is that his type? He looks scary, but he's actually really nice? Let's get you out of the rain. I should refuse. Something about strangers in danger. Stranger danger! However, this man and his calm, gentle presence reassured me of my own safety in a way no one else had ever done. Perhaps it was magic? And did it truly matter if I was bespelled? If I managed to get to the banquet in time? With a nod, I moved quickly from beneath the cold staircase to under the unfamiliar man's cape. I'm pleased to find out this is much warmer and larger than it looks. 4 eyeballs. I assume you're an ambassador of the Ares Empire? Once again, I'm surprised I can hear him. Something of the sort. His gaze lingers on me for a moment too long. Though he says nothing, he reaches his lantern forward, and I gather that we should move forward. The streets are accumulating water at such a pace that the sewage system doesn't seem to be capable of handling it. At first, I do my best to avoid the gathering puddles and streams of water, carrying away dust and grime. Though the task is difficult and my feet should be soaked through, I'm surprised to find that I don't walk into the puddles. I walk over them, as though an invisible barrier has been created between myself and the cold water accumulating on the streets. When I glance back at the man leading me, I notice the rain bounces away from him. Ask him how. Yeah, man. How are we doing this? Are you doing some magic right now? Cause that's kind of cool. Can you teach me? The cloak's enchanted. Oh. I'd never experienced the effect of a magic item before, and I can't help but be a little awestruck at the revelation. They were pretty rare back in the Ares Empire. He tilts his head toward the sky as if attempting to gauge if it'll cease raining soon. Then sighs. I apologize. Once again, it takes me a moment to catch his voice. I find how easy it is to miss alarming. Are you apologizing for the rain? Do you usually apologize to all victims you save from a downpour? Are you apologizing for the rain? What are you apologizing for, buddy? It's not your fault, is it? It appears Aqua chose the opportune time to throw a tantrum. I feel the cogs clicking away in my head. And does it rain just in Omnis or all around Quilon Galar when he's in a bad mood? That's entirely up to him. Do all elven aspects have the ability to affect the weather? I can feel his gaze resting on me for a brief moment. No. Oh. At least not without the help of spell candle. Spell candles? Title drop? All these games we've played have been doing title drops. I appreciate it greatly. I raise an eyebrow at the man as he guides us into a turn that leads us out of the basic rocky building district. What are spell candles? A few seconds pass by without an answer, and I wonder if the cloak almost seems to grow heavier around me. A way to preserve pure elemental magic. So he's clearly got some sort of like earthy plant foliage thing, maybe? And the magic is released when the candle is burned? Correct. And is that why candles are strewn around the entire city? Ooh, good point. I spot the smallest of twitches at the corner of his mouth. Aren't you quite the astute student? I find myself smiling back at him. Our kind light them whenever they require magic they don't naturally possess. The red candles to light the fires at home and warm a room. The blue candles to summon and control water. The effect at which anyone can use these candles depends on their magical ability, of course, but I think you get the gist of it. The curves of his lips soften his features, and for a split second, I find myself staring longer than appropriate. How do the aspects impose control? Can I also use magic then? Yeah, can anyone or just like the elves? Do you have any affinity for an element or deity? No. Then you likely can only benefit from an enchanted item. Flying carpets, rings that part the sea, talking swords, the stuff of legends. He's teasing me. Very funny. Here we are. The male stopped suddenly and turned toward me, his tall frame towering over me as he lifted his lantern towards the entrance of the Evresian embassy. Loud percussion, the whistle of a flute, and a mandolin rang through the air, showing off the festivities had begun. And I was late. I'm embarrassed to admit I was so focused on the intriguing man before me to notice that we'd even arrived. Thank you. No thank you is necessary, be assured. He motioned for me to go ahead with his free hand, so I just nodded, turned on my heel, and walked into the embassy in a hurry. The music was much louder inside, accompanied by the smells of various sizzling meats and bright lights of hanging chandeliers. Water, earth, and death elves moved around in wild circular dances. Oh, a death elf, is that what he is? Dressed in such finery that I found myself thankful that the Terra had interfered on my behalf from the store earlier. Though I spot him in the room, I find that he's engaged in conversation with some senators from our empire, full goblet in hand. A few paces away from him, my eyes meet the infamous crimson hues of the general, who seems to have stopped whatever he was doing to size up my outfit. Of course he does. Irritation bubbles up in my throat, and I find myself quickly pivoting towards the drinks table. A large wine fountain, adorned with lit silver candles, quickly catches my eye, and a polite elf pours me a goblet upon noticing my approach. I take the cup with a smile, but am momentarily distracted from drinking. I hear a series of loud gasps echoed from somewhere before a slick, tangible voice cuts through the music like a hot knife through butter. I told the Pirate Lord if he's not willing to go to war for my love, he doesn't deserve me. And then I sank his ship to the bottom of the bay. A series of excited whispers and murmurs follow the ridiculous explanation, carrying the electric atmosphere that supports all forms of gossip mongering. Oh, sandwich art. Oh my god, of the MC right between them. Ah. Okay, you get all the guys together for a cuddle pile, for one big hug. And then like picture what we think the MC looks like in the center? Maybe? Momentarily distracted, I can't help but search for whoever is the source of this ambiance. Oh. Frankly, even if my sister and brother were on the marriage market, I doubt they'd be able to impress. Then again, feel free to bring it up with stepmother dearest. I'm sure she'll be thrilled to finally get a morsel of attention. My feet move automatically, as if charmed by scandals carried within every sentence of whoever is speaking. I find that I'm led into a section of the embassy floor transformed into a lounge by huge chases, silk curtains, and burning incense. Many gorgeous elves are piled on top of the comfortable pillows, lazing around in eye-catching outfits. Yet when my eyes land on the male sprawled in the dead center of the crowd, I find myself suddenly flustered. Is it the blue one? Yes! Oh, does he have a tail? Or is that a blanket behind? Everything about this man makes me want to do double and triple takes. The long hair glistening in the candlelight as if wet. The bright pink makeup. The outfit that I'm sure would look unseemly on anyone else in such a formal environment. Whoever he is, he commands the space behind these curtains as though he owns it. And he might as well, considering the way the hungry gazes of his entourage follow each breath he takes. Yeah, right? No, sweetheart. No matter how much money your father offers her family as a dowry to me, trust me, she won't marry you. Oh, no matter her father offers her family as a dowry, trust me, she won't marry. Is he like giving advice right now? He sounds so utterly bored with the topic that I almost believe that he isn't reveling in the attention he's receiving. His large smile says otherwise. Everyone knows that marrying for love is far superior to marrying for money. His gaze landed on me, and his smile widened. Wouldn't you agree? The pool of attention was dropped upon me so suddenly that I found myself desperate to get rid of it. Marriage for money is better. Marriage for love is better. I don't believe in marriage. I'd rather not give opinions on other people's relationships, or can't people have both? Yeah, give me the money and the love. I'd rather not give opinions on other people's relationships. I feel like can't people have both is a very interesting thing to say. I want to hear how he responds. Truly. Such naivety. I'm convinced his gaze brightens as he shifts it to somewhere behind my shoulder, as if searching for someone beyond the curtains before returning to me. Well, I suppose I've always had a penchant for the gullible. Oh, wait, oh. His heterochromatic eyes slide over my form. I hadn't noticed that. Yeah, one eye is darker than the other. The retort I planned never leaves my mouth. You're just my type. Oh, he's bold. He's bold. Excuse me? His bold proclamation wipes the remark clean from my memory, and I can only stare at him, completely dumbfounded. My cheeks flush as he spreads 2 fingers in front of his lips. Whoa! Feel free to stop by my room later. I highly doubt that would be appropriate. Oh, is it because the general? Did he know the general was behind us? Okay. Aqua of the Elves. My embarrassment is quickly swept under the rug. The attention of the room instead drawn to the general who'd moved in front of me. His demeanor remains as cold as always. Oh, he also has like I didn't realize he had like horns too. Nice. Wow, his nails are really long. Ah, the Shadow Master. The beautiful man before me finally moves to stand in front of us. I'd had an inkling that the male before me had to be influential, but had I just been propositioned by the aspect of water? My brain blanched as I pondered how to put that down in my journal. Yeah, how do you write that into the newspaper? I've heard a lot about you. The Aqua did a quick circle around the general, eyeing him with unabashed curiosity. The man without a heart, was it? Ooh, sandwich time, right? Look, there's a little bit of space right between the two of them. I could fit right in there. Care to dispel the rumor? Ignoring the bold flirtation of the demigod before him, the general's crimson eyes glanced in my direction briefly. I ask you to refrain from distracting our balefire mandated political journalist from doing her job. I find myself stiffening upon hearing the mention of the Ares Empire's grand capital. This sounds worse. He's just gonna give us some experience so we won't be so gullible anymore. Well, if he's offering... Aqua's attention slides over to me again, lingering on the authorized notebook I was given to put my notes down. I make no promises. Is that like a back fin? Pretty. You. It's a festival, General. Relax. He waved an amphibious hand dismissively. In fact, he raises his voice in a way that carried his words around the room. I propose a toast. Another goblet of wine is pushed into my hand by a servant so quickly that I expect the Aqua of the Elves had a habit of making toast. Though the room is buzzing with excitement, it is quiet enough to hear a pin drop. Beside me, I notice the general giving Aqua a withering glare. To the Ares Empire, who have stood behind us for thousands of winters. He raises his silver goblet into the air. May our festival once again nourish the millennium-old alliance between our two nations, so that we may stand together against the coming horrors anew in 8 months. What's happening in 8 months? I blink as the words echo around the room and everyone erupts in cheers before drinking from their cups. A tail like a shark? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm hoping it is. I'm hoping it's like it's a tail. Imitate drinking? Just because I have that option. I'm here for work. I'm here for work. I'm here for work. I press the goblet to my lips, but make no effort to part them. Whatever's in this wine, it smells like the sea. What? Like in a good way or a bad way? Because sometimes the sea, like ocean air, smells really nice, and sometimes it smells stinky. I pull the cup back to stare at its contents, noting that whatever was inside looked like a typical red wine. What sort of disaster took place to make such a lovely drink smell like seaweed? It seems I'm alone in my confusion, however. The festivities around me have resumed in full force, with the swell of a flute leading most elves that were gathered around Aqua into an unfamiliar folk dance. They bounce around the room in couples, laughing and dragging the occasional senator into their steps. It's wild and lively. Antithetical to the structured festivals we held back at Balefire. It's an acquired taste. The wine, I mean. Surf grape, they call it an amour. Oh, it's him! A familiar voice comes from behind, and as I turn, I come face to face with the giant frame of the Elves Terra. I mean, I am just attracting all the demigods. I'm guessing this is the Earth guy, we got the Water one, and then the one that helped us was probably, what did they say, Death Elves? All of them. Dang. Long time no see, Princess. It's good to see you as well, Terra. Planning to take Aqua up on his offer? No, but are you offering now? It takes me a second to clue into what he's asking. It seems word travels faster than wine in the Elven capital. I'll be doing my job. Thought so. A part of me wanted to ask him what he meant, considering that smile, but I find my attention occupied by Aqua. He led a complex folk dance with easy confidence, his long hair swaying behind him. A mesmerizing head on the revelry. Our stoic general followed through the motions beside him, as though he's done this many times before. Ooh, the general's also dancing? Okay. He looks like he'd be having more fun cleaning bird shit. I stifle a laugh behind a hand and glance up at the shrinking demigod. Am I wrong, though? I'm gonna have to agree on this one. Wait. I'm gonna agree with this because it's funny. I can't help the smile that cracks my well-structured mask of professionalism. I don't have to do anything more to earn myself a pleased expression from the elven demigod. I mean, it's not like the worst thing. Like it wasn't the biggest slander. We're just stating the fact. The general just doesn't look like he's having fun right then. It's fine. It's fine. His gaze shifts behind me, and I follow it to a lone figure leaning against the wall beside the embassy's entrance. Yo! He's got ears. He's got some long ears. Lupine ears. My guide from earlier. With his hood down, I'm starting to see a pair of long lupine ears shifting from the top of his head. Mors Mortis, the aspect of death. The last demigod of the waking elves. He's watching the dance unfolding around the embassy floor, but seems to be restraining himself from joining it. Hera nudges me with his elbow. You could invite him to a dance, you know. I'm startled by the suggestion. You know the steps, don't you? I nod slowly. I wouldn't be allowed on this job if I didn't. Well, what are you waiting for? Oh, I want to dance with him! I blink at Terra's words, suddenly feeling encouraged to try something new. This could be a great feature to put into the journalistic piece after I get home. Morse Mortis? Hello? He was nice to me. My eyes shift back to the demigod of death, who stands near the front entrance of the embassy's hall, cup of wine in hand. He strays from the rest, enjoying his bubble of serene solitude as he instead observes the descending chaos, content to be exempt from it. Emboldened by the terror's words, I politely excuse myself from my time with the leader of the elven faith and move to join Morse Mortis in the reclusive corner. His gaze shifts to me briefly, noting my approach, before returning to the wild dances happening around us. Shouting, hopping, twirling, jumping, kissing, touching, drinking. The Aqua has grabbed our general. Wait, are they kissing? Or was that just what's happening around the room? The Aqua has grabbed our general, leading him through the complicated steps of a local dance that he's keeping up with perfectly. The visible vexation on his face, however, makes me consider the existence of karma. I can't help but smile as I reach the demigod of death and lean on the wall beside him. You're not joining them? His eyes flit to me and then back to the craze up ahead. Dancing is not something I've had much of a talent for. And yet you enjoy watching it? It's a verification of being alive. Beautiful in its simplicity and simultaneously its complexity. I tilt my head and turn my attention fully to the scene before me as it unfolds. The Morse Mortar of the Elves was the oldest of the elven aspects, a frightening monster with sharp teeth and claws capable of plucking a person's soul right from their chest. He was perhaps the most feared ally we had. A folk tale the parents told their kids when they didn't want to go to bed. The sleepless woven demigod who ate the naughty children when they wandered into dark forest at night. These men and women, politicians are like the stars. They burn beautifully when they're far away. Interesting to observe, but not to encounter. His plain observation surprises me, and though I lack the courage to verbally or visibly agree with him, in a room where doing either would be treason, I feel that my silence tells them enough. The beat of the music continues, and the cello swells with emotion as I watch the Terra join into the dance, leading a long, winding column of his own with a smile on his face. He's like the sun, a stark contrast to the school displeasure of our general, and the mischievous expression of the Aqua. What about you? Why aren't you joining them? I wanted to thank you for earlier, and I wanted to dance. I wanted to thank him for earlier. I do want to thank him. Thank me? For saving me from when I got lost in the rain. It was kind of you. Anyone else would have done the same. I'm not sure about that. I can list the names of quite a few people who wouldn't. Several of them drinking merrily in this room, but I resist. Simply, I shake my head. One person's kindness can be a second chance at life for another. Doing the right thing shouldn't be as complex as it's made out to me. You would have caught a cold if I let you remain in the freezing rain. That decision was simply... well, thank you nonetheless. He paused before giving me a small, stiff nod. If we misbehave? If we run out and we start misbehaving, will he catch us? Intriguing. A sudden... all three of them? Dancing together? A sudden surge of the beat turned my eyes to the center of the embassy's main hall, where the aspects of Earth and water had clashed, both vying for the center of the dance floor. The general, whose fingers were still intertwined with Aqua's, regarded the aspect of water as though he was seconds from killing him. I love that they're dancing together. Hand in hand. The stomping of feet, clicking of cups, roaming of hands. The smell of expensive perfumes met with the sizzling meats cooked traditionally as kebab. At the same time, it reminded me of home, while also letting me experience something entirely different. It made me want to close my eyes, lean into the beat like everyone else. I know, right? You can tell who the target audience for this game is. As the chaos of the festivities raged around me, and I turned to once again face Morse Mortis, I questioned my lips. Ooh. I watched his eyes widened, and he pulled me to his side without warning as a stray glass of wine smashed into the wall where I just stood. He saved us again? Are we in his arms right now? Its owner, an earthen elf with a sandy skin tone, laughed drunkenly, perhaps after doing a few too many twirls in the current dance. Her eyes, the color of bright amethyst, turned to me, and what I assumed was going to be an apology turned into wide eyes, quivering lips, and a deep bow. She said something in Elvish, then turned on her heels and ran out of the embassy's open doors into the night, leaving me dumbfounded. He's angry for me! At least she was considerate enough to not disturb the rest of the guests by screaming. She says she apologizes for the glass. I know, his ears look so fluffy. They're so fluffy. I turned to Morse Mortar, whose nonchalant tone was betrayed by the scowl on his lips. Thank you. It's of no consequence. He keeps saving me. A series of merry cheers erupts from the center of the hall. The long song having come to an end, but I find myself uninterested in the winner of the superstitious competition. The man before me holds my gaze instead. I'm fascinated by what someone so seemingly gentle had done in seconds to summon forth such primal fear from his subject. But if Morse Mortis senses the millions of questions on my tongue, he ignores them, instead reaching toward me and tugging something out of my hair. His dark fingers pull away. I catch a sixth eye tattooed onto the back of his hand. A bit of glass got on you. He shows me a small shard between his fingers. Something that wouldn't have happened had our balefire-mandated journalist been doing her job recording the happenings rather than partaking in them. I was in the corner watching! I was watching! What else did I have? What else could I have done? The general cuts into the conversation with a glare in my direction that gives me goosebumps. I believe you and I have different definitions of the term partaking, General. Unlike me, Morse Mortis seems completely unaffected by the Shadow Master's presence. Your journalist was in fact doing their job very well. It's the fault of our people that she almost got injured. The general scoffed, his gaze shifting to me again, his eyes tracking what I could only assume was the glass shards in my hair. Why is he so... He's just awkward, isn't he? Is he just awkward? He just doesn't know how to... He was worried so he came over, but he doesn't know... What a silly guy. What a silly guy. Any journalist serious about the job would already be resting. You've had a hard night. Go home. It's fine. You don't need to keep working. You could just say, after all of this excitement, maybe you should just go rest. You know, maybe there's a nicer way to say it. Maybe? I've played enough Otome games. I speak the Tsundere language. I understand them now. I understand them. I know how to auto-translate. The aspect of Death's gaze shifts to me, as if to gauge something, before he places a hand on his toned chest. On his toned chest, he breasted boobily. His head dipped into a curt bow, a soft smile on his lips. Then may your rest be tranquil, and your spirit feel serene under watchful gaze. Thank you, Nechira. As he rises, I offer both men a small, bright smile. If you'll excuse me. The general gives me a curt, dismissive nod. Morse Mortis, on the other hand, seems to be looking past me. I take it as permission to leave. It's halfway out of the room that I realize I never actually had the chance to tell the aspect of Death my name. He just knew! He was asking about me. I know it. I quickly reach my room. The inside is small but luxuriously furnished, showing off what I already knew. That the Ares Empire spared no expense for its diplomats. But it didn't buy me any clothes! I find myself glaring at the unnecessary mahogany desk, the silk robe hanging from my dresses, the comfortable bed, warmed by the red candle lit beside it, the redundant opulence of the ensuite bathroom with its heated floors and scented soaps. Heated floors? I sigh as I sink into my bed, journal in hand. Pushing my annoyance aside, my thoughts drift, taking me through the day. So far I find Omnis to be mysterious, grandiose, I don't know how to pronounce it. Charming, intimidating. I have looked up how to pronounce this word so many times, but I always forget. It's, grandiose? Grandiose? Before I know it, I'm describing the giant marble pillars and colorful quartz rooftops of the city's buildings. The perfectly coiffed shrubbery, the strong scents of roses, the gorgeous crawling plants that must have taken decades to reach the heights they currently hold. I smile as I recall those soft, hanging silk curtains bathed in the golden light of dusk. Next, I find myself focusing on the welcome festivities that I'd just been a part of. They were highly political, ridiculously chaotic, terribly exciting, let's say that was it's very special. A very special experience. The winters our eastern continent experiences are mere myths to the rest of the known world. They're harsh, filled with horrors of mind and body. We lose too many good people to these wars every year. And yet, within the Arisian embassy of Omnis, the evening before the Dread Festival, we're welcomed with open arms by our elven comrades in arms. We find hope in breaking bread and sharing wine. We smile, laugh, and choose to live on. Persist despite the dominations in our recent memories. It was a heartwarming sight of an alliance forged over millennium of joint suffering. I find myself smiling when I think of Terra Aqua Morse of our little deaf guy. He saved us. It was very nice. He has fluffy ears. The calm and wise Morse Mortis is the oldest waking elven aspect. As the demigod of death and the ruler of Spes, city of hope, he's a walking oxymoron, both renowned and feared within his own kind's capital city. He's the monster our parents told us about when we were young, the big bad wolf that ate the naughty kids. He, who never sleeps and can pluck souls from bodies with a simple touch. There is, however, a certain unexpected peace one can find when being near what they fear the most. You can find out the boogeyman is just a man. Perhaps the weeks of travel were finally getting to me. I put away my journal and try to get some rest. To survive in the Ares Empire, you need to love it. Or you need to be very good at pretending to do so. The delegation was ready to depart to the Central Plaza at 7:30 a.m. sharp. Systemized like apothecary bottles, not a single soul dared to be laid under the general scrutiny. As if yesterday's chaotic revelry was a dream we'd all conjured up in our sleep. But the outfit on my body was proof enough, considering I had nothing else decent to wear. Wait. I went all this way and I only had one outfit? Well, I guess that makes sense. Having outfits for every single day is more like a modern thing. I still think if you're gonna be sent on a delegation, though, we should have some clothes. The elven diplomats, meant to escort us to the location of the Dread Festival's opening ceremony, arrived at exactly 7:35. The Shadow Master greeted them, and after finishing the steaming contents of his cup, bid they lead the way. I soon found myself uncertain as to why all this posturing was necessary. The Central Plaza of Omnis was exactly a 3-minute walk away from the embassy. Pretty. Oh, so that's a building. Wow. Looks like giant glass windows. Though we're early for the ceremony, the open space is packed with elves of various elemental inclination and ages. Several large stone coffins held together with heavy locks and star mail chains lay arranged in a neat line in the heart of the square. A giant cauldron of bubbling wax levitates peacefully above each one, and I quickly spot the 7 lit silver candles held together by Morse Mortis. Though Terra and Aqua are nowhere to be found, the aspect of death seems to personally be attending to the festival's preparation. He appears calm as he runs his finger over the flames of the braziers heating the cauldrons, earning excited whispers from the gathered elves and senators. I find myself wondering if it hurts, or if he's touched fire so many times he's grown numb to it. For a second, his eyes meet mine across the field as our delegation steps forward toward the designated area. I'll smile at him. I feel like he doesn't get enough smiles. He needs a smile. Yeah, for an important event? You think we'd have emergency backup clothes. But hey, she's just a journalist. She's just a girl. Just a journalist. Surprise skips over his features like a pebble before sinking underneath the perfectly constructed political smile that he'd offered to our delegation. Or so I expected. Instead, his expression remains the same, as he offers us a cool, calculated bow. Welcome, esteemed General and the delegate of the Ares Empire, to this year's Dread Festival opening. Thank you, Aspect of Death, for hosting us again this year. The Shadow Master returns the sentiment with a curt bow of his own. What a lukewarm exchange. I'm not certain exactly what happened between those two, but I don't have any time to dwell on it, for Aqua and Terra's arrival breaks the tension and turns it into chaos. It's as if wherever those two appear, the location turns into a stage set for spectacle. A stark contrast to the elves' indifference towards Morse Mortis, and quite curiosity about the general. I find my gaze lingering on. You know, at first I was thinking the general. I was thinking the general more early when I first started, or before I started, but like, I really love the whole terrifying death god, but also super gentle, nice guy kind of aspect, you know? He gives you Thanatos vibes. Ooh. aspect of death stood motionless beside our delegation as he waited for his compatriots to join us. Look at him. His side profile reminded me of a statue, his lithe form carved from decades of decisions. Only his eyes gave way signs of life. His gaze shifted through the crowd, landing on his fellow's aspects before he blinked. An action so natural that it looked foreign on him, as though he did it for the benefit of the living around him. Esteemed guests of the Empire, allow us once again to welcome you to our lands as we commemorate the end of another winter. Terra moved to stand beside the now quiet Morse Mortis. There's no greater honor for us and our people to call you and yours by the term allies. For every time we've called, you've answered. And whenever we've been in need, we've delivered. Whenever you've been in need, we've delivered. It is through good that we stave off evil. Through your gods and ours. Listening to the eloquence of the aspect of Earth, I'm quickly reminded that as the leader of the Elven City of Faith, Terra also holds the title of head of the Elfic religions. Aqua speaks next, a hand on his heart. Our bond has lasted for millennia, a marriage against darkness. This commitment, immortalized when we sealed away the 7 Scions, will continue to hold today. On the first dawn of the Dread Festival, we vow to once again keep them at bay. His voice pulls me toward him, like a sailor to a siren. But it's Morse Mortis' tone that brings me back. That makes me stop and listen. From flesh to wax, from wax to life. Every year, the eternal war takes us from those we hold dear. And with what is left of them, we seal away chaos, anger, harm, loneliness, sorrow, hunger, and plague, and take a breath until next winter. For it is through faith that we hold the lines, through love that we stand united, and through hope that we keep fighting. Let those we love shield us once more from the dangers we've forgotten. Breathe in and take your time to pray. Terra's command echoes through the air, rendering the thousands of elves gathering on their knees. As per the ritual, our delegation is the first to walk up to the braziers of bubbling wax and silently thank those who gave their lives for ours. The general goes first, murmuring thank yous in both our language and that of the elves. Though I can't see his face, I find his tone to be gentler than any I've heard from him before. I go last from our delegation. I think about those that I've lost over the years of the war. I murmur thank yous in both languages. Think about those lost over the years. A deep pain grips me. I know it stems from the emptiness of what was once, but now no more. As I reach the first cauldron, I thank the people and elves who gave their lives for our peace in both languages. Then I move on to the next cauldron and do the same, and the next, and the next, and the next. It's considered a great honor to be able to come this close to the dead again. Once our delegation has finished paying their respects, the elven aspects follow. The 3 move in perfect tandem, and by the time Morse Mortis is finished, the rest of the elven population in Omnis is already in silent tears. Morse Mortis orders after a moment of silence. The 7 cauldrons obey Morse Mortis' command, slowly moving to tip over. Wax begins hitting the coffins one by one, resealing them under the watchful eyes of the elven aspects, their people, and our delegation. Hello, Bones! Welcome, welcome! Get down! Ooh, what's happening? The words shatter through the silence. I barely have the time to process the familiar voice before the ground underneath my feet gives. For a second, I think I'm blind. The world turned pitch black. I think I smell something burning. Then daylight breaks through, bringing back my sense of sight. My knees are bleeding. I blink as I try to get my bearings, but it's as though sound has ceased to function. I make out some of the senators that lay beside me cowering. I guess stay low for now because I don't know what's going on. Should probably assess the situation. I don't really want to get up. Let's stay low. The general's kneeling beside me, a knife in his hand. His eyes wander around our delegation, coolly checking for everyone's presence and safety. At least until a shout cuts apart my uncertainty with a new horrifying discovery. The goddess of chaos has escaped. Goddess Chaos. My eyes shoot into the direction of the pale marble coffin, the last one to be sealed, now empty. I hear murmurs and whispers from the gathered elven crowds. The words are undecipherable until the general's crimson gaze sweeps towards the onlookers, with what can be only described as wild fury. They finally decided to conquer us too. Betrayers! Scoundrels! Oh, do they think that we're doing something bad? My blood chills as I realize that the only possible culprits could be those close enough to the cauldrons. The realization seems to dawn upon the aspects at the same time. These all three of them turn to face us. The word "seize them" suddenly sounds like a phrase from a banned horror novel. The elven crowds are dispersed and told to return to their homes under curfew. Meanwhile, we're roughly pulled to a standing position in front of the aspects. While Terra and Aqua's expressions are unreadable, Morse Mortis looks dangerously calm. General, give us one reason why we mustn't lynch your delegation and send you back to the Empire to announce the dissolution of our alliance. You have no proof. Yeah, there's no proof. We were just there. It doesn't mean that we did it. I find this man's ability to remain an egotistical bastard, even when standing before three demigods, almost attractive. Almost. Did nobody else stand close enough to the Braziers in order to tamper with them? The generals fall silent, and I realize exactly what he's saying. I see Morse Mortis' expression turn murderous as he reaches the same conclusion. My thoughts suddenly dim as a primal existence fear of death sinks its claws into my back. How dare! Let's hold an investigation then. Aqua's smile is nonchalant, but something in his tone gives me pause. Morse Mortis' eyes narrow on the demigod of water. Everyone present is suspect. I don't know why the three unitary demigods suddenly look so divided. Terra, much to my surprise, is frowning, his tail flicking around, his arms crossed in front of his chest. Very well. Morse Mortis' four jade eyes wander between the members of our delegation and the surrounding guards before landing on the general. Name your investigator, Shadow Master. You get one and only one. Scarlet. Yeah. Well, I guess as a journalist, I do have some sort of investigation background, I guess. And I'd probably be a lot less... Well, I don't know. I wouldn't trust a politician in the delegation, though. What? I jump to my feet as all eyes turn to me. I don't want to do that. But also, I don't want to trust my fate onto someone else. I don't want to trust my life to someone else. So I'll do it. 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 I catch a glimmer in Tara's eyes as none of the aspects argue the general's choice. Aqua's smile widens, and I find myself looking away, needing to escape all of this attention. The festival lasts 7 days. This is how long you have to get your truth. The unspoken, if you fail, remains a silent implication that hangs over my head like a guillotine for the next week. Day 1. I return to my room and find that my fingers are gripping my journal so hard that they're shaking. I have to get it together, desperately. I can sense how overwhelmed I am with fear. Had it been winter, I likely would have already turned into some mindless ghoul and fallen prey to the sword of a soldier. I take in a deep breath, then exhale. I repeat these simple motions several times until my brain has enough oxygen to function again as it should. Who do I investigate? Who should I investigate? I mean, when I say investigate, is it like who I'm gonna go talk to first, or who do I think is suspicious? But I want an excuse to talk to the death god again. Maybe. My head feels like it's swimming as I attempt to piece everything together. Nothing makes sense. There's still too much information that I lack, and too little time I have to figure this out. I feel restless. The squeezing of my stomach from nerves, doubled by the rapidly growing hunger for something more serious than a cup of tea. It forces me out of the chair and to my door. With the amount of stress that I'm under, if I don't eat anything, I might fall sick, and then I'd really have doomed us all. A light meal will have to suffice. Pulling the door open, I find myself staring back at 2 pairs of surprised green eyes. The aspect of death, one dark hand pulled into a fist, seems to have just about to knock. Instead, he clears his throat and hides his hand back underneath his long cloak. I've come at a bad time. Well, I was just thinking about him. He steps back, serene, entirely different from the previous burning display of anger at the city square. It's alright. I was about to step out for lunch. I see. Then I won't keep you with my presence. That won't work for me. I desperately need answers. Would you like to join me for lunch? Like, I know, like, we're about to, like, I know you were threatening to kill me yesterday, but, like, what, you wanna get lunch together? You wanna just, like, I don't know, maybe we can pick up some sandwiches or something? Actually, if it isn't entirely too bold of an invitation, considering the difference of our stations, could you join me? That way we won't waste time. 4 green eyes blink at me and then scan me from top to bottom with distrust. For lunch? Whatever he sees in my following little nod seems to melt away his suspicions, replacing them with a curiosity instead. He motions for me to walk ahead, and I do just that. A polite silence blanketing the space between us as we make our way into the embassy's canteen. It's a small but well-decorated place with 3 rotating tables covered in banquet-style dishes. Banquet-style dishes for self-service. One tall window allows for daylight to enter and envelope the whole room. When I move to sit into one of the comfortable wooden chairs, Morse Mortis is quick to pull it out from behind me, surprising me as he pushes it underneath me after. What a gentleman! Gentlemen? I don't know. Does it have plural? Do you say it gentleman when you're saying one man? Oh god, I don't even know. Now I've forgotten how the English language works. Would you be comfortable with having me sit beside you, or would you prefer to have me seated across? The question puzzles me, and I catch Morse once again scanning my face, searching for who knows what as I shrug. Sit wherever. We're in your city. And in your embassy, investigator. Don't forget that. Well, sitting beside me is closer, and that's nice. But sitting in front of me while I'm eating makes it easier to watch him. I blink as he takes a seat beside me and lowers his hood. The eyes on his cheekbones scan through the dishes on display. Ask away. And so I do just that. Was the ritual tampered with? Yes. If we can't fight our way out, we might as well flirt. Exactly! Exactly! There's one thing I've learned from visual novels. If your life is in danger, just, you know, suck up to everyone around you, and eventually someone will be like, dang, you're so cute. I can't kill you. You're too young to die. And then you live longer. How? Mortis's eyes fall on the empty plate in front of me. There were runic configurations on the inside of the cauldron. I blink in surprise. Runes are ancient symbols imbued with magic, most commonly used for spellcasting. But runic is a dead language. Is anything truly dead if memory still lingers? If the memory still lingers. The aspect of death rotates the traditional table such that the vegetable dishes face us rather than the meat-centric ones. Either this man's a vegetarian, or he has astounding insight into those around him. I thank him and quietly pile some pickled vegetables onto my plate, pondering his last words. When I look back at him, I notice his ears have sharpened, and his bustling tail has frozen in its place, as if listening for something that I can't hear. The eyes on his cheekbones have shifted their attention elsewhere. His features soften after a split second and turns his full focus back to me. Are you gonna eat? Yeah, are you gonna eat? This is the most important thing. I don't even care about the investigation. I just want him to take care of himself. Eat some food, sir. I can pretend to consume food, if that would make you want to touch yours. Oh, so he doesn't eat? Yeah, I was thinking that's probably the case. Are you not hungry? Oh, he's just not hungry. I have no appetite after this morning. Too many eyes narrowed in a way I don't like. I pick up my chopsticks, attempting to be casual with my following question, as I place a piece of some pickled green tomato in my mouth and make an effort to chew. It's delicious, quite likely because I'm terribly hungry despite the nerves that refuse to settle in my stomach. Do you truly believe the culprits from our delegation? An uncomfortable pause stretches between us, and I swallow and watch him frown. The opening ritual of wax has been performed for almost 2 millennia, and there's never been an issue. He sounds almost resigned as he answers. It seems that when it comes down to this investigation, he's a closed book. The only differential factors every year are the guests, then? He nods, and I find myself begrudgingly agreeing with his logic. But there is a flaw within it. If the guests are different every year, then there shouldn't be anyone from our delegation who knows where to find all the tools. My words earn me a quick nod, but there's something uncertain about it that spurns me on. His eyes attain a sparkle that speak to me. I'm missing something, but what? The truth hits me so suddenly that I want to vomit. An accusation that, if made within the walls of the Ares Empire, could end with my death at the very least. I find my hands shaking as I try to figure out a way to put thoughts so ink without securing my own legally sanctioned murder. Legally sanctioned murder. The generals are recurring guests. The Shadow Master has attended the Dread Festival many times before, and his speed and agility were legendary. The source of increased battlefield morale of many Arisian armies. Perhaps porridge would be better on an empty stomach. I exhale and nod, but make no move to serve myself. My fingers are still frozen from thoughts inspired by unspoken truths. Alright. I need to go to work. I was hoping to get through the whole... I don't know how much is left. Maybe I should just get through the... No, I don't want to be late to work because I was playing video games. That would be bad. Alright. I want to know what happened. I want to know what happened. Let's save this. I can just still play this tonight when I'm at home. I'll just finish the demo at home. Honestly, I'll finish all the demos that I've played and haven't finished this time. I can finish those all at home. When I get home tonight. Alright. This does update. Oh, so I must have been pretty close to the end. Could always blame car trouble. I know. Check it. Our first meeting with all of them. The CGs are so good, right? Look at him. How does he fit those ears under there? Wow, okay. All of them together. All right. Ooh, that got quiet so quickly. Another one? How did I end up... I was trying to go for... I guess I went for a variety in art styles, at least. I was trying to go for a variety of games. They've all turned to be mysteries. They've all turned out to be, like, murder survival mystery. If you don't figure out the secrets, you die. Almost all of them. Almost all of them. Lock and Key and Irene weren't. But the last few games. I just know what I like. You really like the art style? Right, the art style is so good. You say that like it's a bad thing. No, I say it like it's a fantastic thing, but it wasn't what I intended. I was trying to go for like a variety in story and in style. Are there other kinds of VNs? I meant to pick at least one like soft, fluffy one. I wanted something soft and fluffy. Something that's just like pure cutesy romance. Like pure cutesy like just shoujo manga as a VN. And I just somehow didn't grab one. Which is fine too. I love all of it. I love the angst. I love the romance. I love all of that. All that stuff. Alright, I do have to go though. I still have to go to work, unfortunately. Let me find who to raid, but also let me pull up the schedule one more time. So I got one more. No, technically two, but there's one more on here. One more stream tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, of Lover's Enigma. Another one that's a demo. Another one that has Kickstarter as well. Speaking of, this game that we just played, Spell Candle, I pinned the link to their Kickstarter. So this is just the demo that they've got out now. So if you are interested in this game, check out that Kickstarter. The link to the Steam page is also on the Kickstarter, so you can pull up the demo if you want to. Check it out. Check it out. I'm definitely backing it now. I'm definitely backing it. I was gonna anyways, but now I'm like definitely in it. It's always hard backing Kickstarter games, cause like, well, not bad, hard. Like the wait. I have a couple that I've backed, and just waiting for him is just, it kills me. Well, but it'll feel so nice when it actually comes out and I get to actually play it in full. All right, who do I want to raid? I wanted Fluff. My True Taste came out. I guess so. I think I've been on kind of like an angsty story kick lately. I actually really like fluffy stories. I find I like shoujo manga. The cutest, fluffiest shoujo manga is like my, I wouldn't say guilty pleasure, but that's like my de-stressor. Like, I see something super adorable, and I just it's like being a little kid squealing at the cute, like, oh my god, they held hands! They're blushing! I love that stuff. Alright, so, is anyone I follow playing any of these games? No. Oh, but I see. Dual Doll is playing a Zelda game. I like Zelda games. Will raid Dual. Doll. Breath of the Wild. Ah, I love Zelda. Breath of the Wild Zelda is pretty cute. Pretty cute. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for being here. Zelda streams are gonna come back in November. They're gonna come back in November. Because I don't want to do them for... I want to go hard on horror games or something. Horror or supernatural games for the month. Of October. But November, I'm gonna go back to Zelda. I went hard on games over the last week because I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. Also, hello, Arrow. Bye, Arrow. Hello. Isn't that great timing? All right, here's the raid thing. And I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to work now because I love work so much. Majora's Mask, but I already played Majora's Mask. The next one is Seasons. Shoot, Oracle of Seasons? So, I feel like it doesn't fit the theme. If it was Twilight Princess, yeah. But anyway, goodbye!